There's a question no one is asking. Not in tech circles, not in government, not even in conversation between friends. How many forests must we burn? How much of the living world must be sacrificed to teach a machine what it means to live? And the more damning question is this: if it never learns, was the destruction still worth it? When it comes to generative AI, to the dream of sentient machines, we've passed every checkpoint without ever stopping to ask why. We chase benchmarks, measuring intelligence in floating point operations and calling it progress. But beneath the numbers is something older, a pattern, a ritual. A story about creation and the blood we're always willing to spill for it. Because we already know what AI costs: constant power, rare minerals, unlimited water, and blood. Yes, blood. This is not stated metaphorically. If you even dig just a little into reality, you'll find the labor, the displacement, the unseen hands, mining, refining, suffering, and dying. So we can waste our days scrolling mindlessly through whatever infantile trend rages through our feeds. We tell ourselves this is technological achievement, a new frontier of comfort and luxury where our whims can be satisfied instantly. But this isn't about what agency we've been granted. It's about what we've allowed to be stripped away. We are sacrificing the finite, our resources, our stability, our people, for a fantasy we haven't even defined. Maybe that's the most honest reflection of who we are. A species hardwired to gamble everything we have today on the promise of something greater tomorrow. We've always built new societies on top of the bones of ancestral villages, decimating the lessons they've carved out of suffering. We pave over nature to speed travel to places that try to sell the very beauty we destroyed back to us. We selfishly consume what is rare and sacred, believing that if we burn enough beauty, something divine will rise from the ashes. But this time, there's no God, no nation, no myth to comfort us. This time, it's for nothing but a machine. So now we have to ask, what would it take to make all of this destruction worth it? Not just for our generation, but for the generations who won't get to decide. Would the machine need to cure every disease, to rewrite our biology, undo centuries of suffering with a single breakthrough? Perhaps it would need to go further and halt aging entirely, profoundly extending life and give each of us a second, third, or infinite chance. Or would we need to reverse death itself, removing the curse from this world and allowing us freedom from our most ingrained fear? And if it did, would we even use that gift wisely? Or would we simply stretch our same mistakes across eternity? But it wouldn't end there, because eternal life requires infinite energy, and so we'd demand that too. We'd want salvation from scarcity, unlimited light, the death of hunger, the end of want. A world where we no longer borrow from the sun, but we manufacture it. Maybe then the cost would start to feel like a bargain. But what if it can't do any of that? What if this machine, no matter how powerful, never delivers the miracles? What if it doesn't heal, or save, or even understand us in any meaningful way? What if it simply gives us more of what we already have? More noise, more distraction, more polished emptiness to sell back to ourselves? What if it exists not to elevate us, but to entertain us as we fall? 1 trillion watts to render synthetic sunsets on devices that would melt in the world they happily destroyed. If that's what we built, an engine of mimicry, a feedback loop in silicon that performs intelligence but offers no wisdom, then what was all of this for? We stripped the world bare for the chance to speak to something new, to create a mind that might one day turn back, recognize us, and be grateful. But if it never speaks, or worse, if it only speaks in marketing slogans or data harvesting scripts or optimization commands, then what have we created but another hunger that needs to constantly feed. We wanted a God, but we built the most powerful salesman. We wanted a soul. We got an empty algorithm. And still, we continue to scroll as they burn the world and tell us it's all for the betterment of humanity. If we don't ask if it's worth the price, if we don't demand to know where are the limits to this unprecedented consumption of resources, then each of us will have played a part in the outcome. So now, all that's left to do is ask, how does this future end?